Welcome to day one of the 15-day hip mobility challenge. So we're going to be starting off with the basics today with a movement called controlled articular rotations, or CARs. So CARs might look simple from the outside, but really this is an exercise that you get whatever you put into it. Okay, so it's all about the intention behind the exercise. Okay, so they're essentially just we're going to be moving our hip joints throughout their entire range of motion. So to start, you're going to need to find something to support you. So whether it's a wall or a chair, I'm going to be using just a stick. So if you have a broomstick, anything that you have to support you, because this is not a balance exercise. Okay, so we want to be supported. We're going to be starting with the right leg. So we're going to be balancing on the left side. So your choice. Some people like having the support on the left, some people having it on the right side. So you choose where you want the support. When you're ready, begin to pick up that right leg. You can extend your free arm out. You can make a fist, and you can even squeeze a ball if you'd like to. Okay, so picking up the right leg, we're going to be doing warm-up reps. So 3 reps for warm-up. Think about doing about 30% intensity here, okay? So not too tough, just a nice warm-up rep. So we're going to cross the leg across the body and then begin to lift the knee and the heel up. Try and squeeze out as much external rotation as you can, and then bring the knee in towards your chest. Open up the knee and then internally rotate as you lift the heel. Bring the leg around behind, meet the knees, and then reverse. Bring the knee back around like you're trying to hurdle the leg over something. Squeeze the knee in, back into external rotation. Have that heel lifted high, and then lower it back down. Okay, so I want you to be trying to stay at your absolute outermost range of motion throughout the entire time. Okay. Another thing that's really useful is if you can record yourself doing these or doing them in front of the mirror. It can be really helpful to see how your body is compensating with the movement. We want to try and isolate the motion in the hip as much as we can. So notice if you're swaying side to side, or if when you come back, if you're extending, so arching your back. Try and keep everything still and see how much motion you have just in your hip. We want to try and get an accurate representation of what range of motion we have available. Okay, so opposite side. That was 3 reps. So we'll balance on the right leg this time. Pick up the left foot, cross it across the body. So same thing, knee up, heel up as high as you can, and then squeeze it in. Open it up, come into internal rotation. Notice what your pelvis or your low back is doing. The pelvis is going to move a little bit, but try to just have the intention of remaining still. This is a really good way. These CARS exercises or movements are a really good tool that you can use to self-assess yourself, that you can kind of get a better idea of what your current range of motion is for a joint. Okay, so we're going to do 1 more rep. Squeezing, trying your best to stay at the outer limits of your range of motion. And reverse. Good. Okay, we're going to come back to the right side. So those were our 3 warm-up reps around 30% intensity. Now we're going to bump it up to about 60%. Okay, what I want you to keep in mind, I want you to fight harder for more range of motion. Okay, so I want you to be really squeezing, really fighting to try and make the rotation bigger with every single rep. Okay, you might be shaking a little bit, you might start to fatigue, but I want you to keep fighting. Okay. So arm extends out. In these ones where we up the intensity, it can be helpful to squeeze a ball, really squeeze into, if you're holding something with the opposite hand, I'm going to be squeezing into this pole, driving it down into the ground. Okay. So balance on that left side. We're gonna go for 5 reps, okay? So squeeze out as much as you can here, crossing the body. Lift up, really fight to lift that heel up as high as you can. Keep squeezing, squeeze. Knee to chest, even more, harder. Open it up. Internally rotate. Send the knee back behind you. Meet the knees, good. Reverse it. Trying to keep the rest of the body still, trying to isolate the motion just in the joint, and come back down. So that's 1. 4 more to go. Let's go for 2. Squeeze. Keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting. You got this. Reverse. Try not to rush through the movement. Nice and controlled. Try and stay at a steady pace. Notice where throughout the motion you find the most difficult for you. Is that 2? This is 3. Maybe we'll do an extra one. I think this is 3. Fight, 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 fight. Lift, squeeze. Standing leg might even start to feel fatigued. Just fight through it. Squeeze. Notice if you want to round forward when you bring the knee in towards your chest. Try and keep the spine long and tall. Okay, last one. Lift the knee up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Open up, squeeze for more, fight for more, stay at the outer limits, and reverse it back. You got this. Squeeze, 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 fight, and you're done. Okay, opposite side. Switch sides, moving on to the left side. Shake out that standing leg if you feel like you need to. Okay, squeeze a ball if you need to. Solidify the body, and when you're ready, begin to bring the left leg across the body. Fight for as much range as you have. Bring the leg up, fight, bring the knee and the heel up at the same time as high as you can, and then squeeze the knee in without rounding. Open up. Transition into internal rotation as you send it behind you. Knees meet and reverse. Try and keep the pelvis steady. Open it up to the side. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. External rotation, squeeze, and back down. So that's 1. Let's go for 2. Fight for as much range. Really trying to stay at your outer limits. Remember to keep a nice cadence, so nice steady pace, not trying to rush through the movement. Okay, your hips are going to love you for this. This exercise, just cars in general, maybe not at this intensity, you can if you want, but like that warm-up intensity, if you could do that every day, your hips would love it. All right, is that 3? I keep talking and losing count. We'll say that was 3. This is 4. You got this. Fight, fight, fight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Fight for as much range as you have and fight for more. Okay, last rep. Make it your best rep. You got this. Reverse it and then you're done. Squeeze and back down. Awesome job. You can shake out your legs. Shake them out. So those are exercises that you can do every single day, okay? So that's all for day 1. We're going to ease into this, and I'll see you tomorrow.